evening, and welcome to the Rotary of Oklahoma City Club 29 2020 Virtual Inaugural. In our 110-year history of Rotary in Oklahoma City, this is a first. And while necessity is the mother of invention, in this case, it's the mother of a historical first. We hope tonight is informative, celebratory, and fun. My name is Dee Lanusa, and I'm a new member of Rotary. And I'm delighted to co-host tonight's event along with Jake Yunker, who is also a new member of Rotary. We appreciate the opportunity to represent the many new members that are joining Rotary.
Thank you, Dee. Tonight, we recognize and extend our gratitude to the outgoing officers of 2019, led by Ann Ackerman, our president. And we welcome the incoming slate of officers for 2020, led by David Walters, our incoming president. We have chosen to respect public health recommendations and not have the traditional in-person inaugural event. And I can see from the monitor that a number of you are enjoying the occasion in your pajamas, sipping some wine.
I can see Lance McDaniel out there in those little bunny slippers.
Looking good,
job,
man.
Lance.
Looking good.
I know that President Ann and President David would have loved to have been with you in person this evening. But let's begin by thanking Cheryl Bird for the lovely pre-event entertainment. She has faithfully served Rotary for 42 years. Thank you, Cheryl. And on with the show.
We opened tonight's program by introducing Janet Vernon, a Rotarian since 2015 and an extraordinary leader in public education.
From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to flight. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope. It's the voice of peace. It's the voice of every man. From a distance, we all have enough, and no one is in need. And there are no guns, no bombs, and no disease, no hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, there are instruments marching in a common band, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace. They are songs for every man. God is watching us. God is watching us. God is watching us from a distance. It isn't enough to talk about peace. One must believe in it. It isn't enough just to believe in it. One must work at it. Eleanor Roosevelt. From a distance, you look like my friend, even though we are at war. From a distance, I cannot comprehend what all this fighting's for. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the hope of hopes. It's the love of loves. It's the heart of every man. It's the hope of hopes. It's the love of loves. It's the heart of every man. God is watching us. God is watching us. God is watching us. a distance.
God is watching us from a distance. Wow, that was powerful. That was fantastic. Thank you, Janet. The Club 29 chorale uses their voices to lift up Rotary events. And now let's celebrate the highlights of the past Rotary year under President Ann Ackerman.
When Ann Ackerman became president of Oklahoma City Rotary Club 29 in 2019, no one could have predicted the wild ride ahead. From a global pandemic to virtual meetings, Ann has guided Club 29 through an unprecedented time with a leadership style that combines collaboration, humility, and humor.
Ann's the kind of leader everyone wants. She's competent, she's confident, and she's compassionate. What else could you ask for?
Ann and I met because of Leadership Oklahoma, and I have been a massive fan of hers ever since. I was amazed at how well she was able to get all these leaders together and work together as a group to solve common problems.
Ann was leading Leadership Oklahoma. She gave our entire class a pink cowbell. So, here's to you, Ann.
Thank you for a great year, Ann, and welcome to the past presidents.
Over the years, Ann has given her time to organizations including the Oklahoma Health Center Foundation, Oklahoma School of Science and Mathematics Foundation, Leadership Oklahoma City, the University of Central Oklahoma, Children's Hospital Foundation, and the Annie Oakley Society. She's a member of the Oklahoma Higher Education Hall of Fame and CEO of the Oklahoma Business Roundtable. Only the fifth female president in Club 29's history, Ann brought her own sense of style, grace, and tenacity to the role.
She's full of joy. I love her pink. It seems to match her personality. That big smile. It's been a joy.
Sharing her love for all things pink and all things Oklahoma, and for her years of service to Club 29 and our greater community, today we honor President Ann Ackerman.
You're a pistol, Ann. Great job.
Your leadership through this crazy time has just been exceptional, and just wanted to say thank you for your commitment to Rotary and everything you do for our great community.
Thank you for your skill and grace, your humor and adaptability. You've demonstrated incredible leadership this year during a very difficult and uncertain time, and we are incredibly grateful. Thank you, my friend.
Ann, I think you're perfect. Cheers. I love you.
I want to thank Rotarian Emily Lang for putting that overview video together.
Yes.
As you can see, President Ann's had quite a year. On behalf of all of us at Rotary of Oklahoma City, Club 29, thank you for your service, President Ann. Please welcome Rotary of Oklahoma City President Ann Ackerman.
Thank you, Jake and Dee, and to everyone who's made this virtual presentation possible. You're started with a fun-filled inauguration at one of Oklahoma City's premier entertainment venues, the Oklahoma City Zoo. And what am I doing? I'm ending up now with Zoom. So we've gone from zoo to Zoom. So much has happened this year, and it's hard for me to put it into words and express my feelings. As you know, I don't really like to give speeches. Back a year ago, I promised to be your pinkest president. And now I'm ending up being your pandemic president. But let me highlight a few things that happened in between those two. I started the year with increasing engagement to be one of the goals I had. And I think we've pretty much accomplished that. For example, the number of members participating in committees, attending programs and events, and donating to the One Pledge have exceeded what we had achieved in the past. Even during the pandemic, we had members participate in our online meetings that had not been frequent attenders before. We have learned also in the last couple of weeks that live streaming is an option for many of our members also. We're learning a lot during this year about how to keep members engaged. And a few weeks ago, we recognized 94 perfect attenders. Wow, we do have an active, engaged club, and that makes us a strong club. We've also had outstanding programs this year, and of course, as a result, attendance has been up. This includes an exceptional vocational day last summer, as well as a fun and entertaining holiday program. At our Tuesday meetings, we had puppies, a live band, 50th anniversary moonwalk, medical marijuana, the X Game founder, politicians, developers, and so much more. We had fun at Rotary After Hours, both live and virtual, and we brought in the Roaring 2020s with a party, and indeed, we didn't know it then, but indeed it has turned out to be a roaring year. Service projects like ringing bells for Salvation Army were fun and extremely rewarding. It was also incredibly special to me to be able to deliver hand sanitizer for COVID relief to nonprofits who were in need. We've been heavily involved in domestic and international projects, disaster relief, and of course COVID-19 relief. The extent of this is remarkable. Our members are very generous. Our club has contributed $205,386, plus we've leveraged an additional $20,720 in matching funds from the district. Very generous, very amazing. This has been a year of change. When I started the year, a goal that I had was to have a smooth transition in the executive director position. With someone new in that role, I knew it was going to be a different kind of year. What can I say? Megan hit the floor running and hasn't stopped, and Cheryl's been right along beside her all the way. From streamlining procedures to organizing activities to developing efficiencies to Zoom and the pandemic. What a fabulous staff we have. And yes, COVID-19 also brought about change. It brought about change for everybody in our personal and professional lives. One of the best parts of Rotary is the fellowship and socialization. And one day we went from a meeting of 250 people at St. Luke's to zero because we were shut down. We couldn't have events of our size. The good news is, as I've already said, is we were able to get up with Zoom, and we actually had members attend the Zoom meeting who hadn't been coming on regular Tuesdays. And now change is with us again as we move back to St. Luke's. Of course, we've had to make necessary adjustments. It's not like it was before the pandemic, but we're able to still have meaningful time together. Yes, it's been a year of change and some challenges that go with that. I do want to thank Megan, Cheryl, and the St. Luke's staff for making things possible and being so flexible. On a personal note, change happened in October for me when I had the opportunity to donate a kidney to my brother. On my first Tuesday back after the transplant, so many of you came up and gave me hugs, well wishes, and related stories about transplantation. It was truly touching, and your kindness will never be forgotten. It meant a lot to me. Let me say it has been a tremendous honor to serve as your president, your pink pandemic president. Thank you for a fantastic year. Now, it gives me pleasure to introduce and welcome our 111th president of the Rotary Club of Oklahoma City, David Walters. And as we all know, David was the 24th governor of the state of Oklahoma, but he's also been an active Rotarian for 32 years. Wow. Congratulations, David. To acknowledge the transfer of leadership, I want to present you with a few tokens of the presidency, but first I've got to get on my hazmat uniform. First, there's the goggles, the gloves, the mask, and I'm going to present you with the gavel, the pen, the plaque.
Thank you, Ann. I really appreciate all of these wonderful things, the presidential pen, the presidential Rotary plaque, a gavel big enough to hit that bell with. I'm going to wipe that down just a little bit with some Clorox. There we go. And in return, Ann, I want you to have these beautiful pink roses.
They're beautiful. Thank you, David.
Thank you very much. What a wonderful job you've done. And again, I hope that's your favorite color. I think it might be. We jest about our public health procedures and precautions, but I just want to assure you that I'm going to continue the tradition that Ann has started, which is to be very careful and to make sure that we have the option of wearing masks and getting hand sanitizer and all that to protect our safety during our meetings. I'm really honored to follow in Ann's leadership. She is a steady and thoughtful person who's led us through a very, very eventful year. The level of rapid change that our organization has experienced over the last 4 months alone has been remarkable, and our executive director and Cheryl Bird and our board, all led by Ann, did just simply a wonderful job of adapting to the challenges. And I want to just say thank you, Ann. Thank you for your great service. Like all of you, I want to continue to strengthen our 111-year history and to have our organization continue to lead in good works as the largest and oldest civic organization in Oklahoma. It's just remarkable when you think about it that we're the third largest Rotary Club in the world out of 35,000 Rotary clubs. Listen to that again, third largest out of 35,000 Rotary clubs. What a distinction and what a responsibility for all of us. Our size provides us the resources to do so many acts of service in our community and internationally. One way we can do this is, in order to increase our impact for doing good, is to find a way to increase the size of our large foundation. Former President Chuck Wiggin, a member of our club for 41 years, has agreed to lead an effort to explore how we do this so we can do even more in our community in the future to help at-risk children, those with food insecurities, to boost our educators and education, to name a few. In fact, to help Chuck get a head start on his task of trying to find a way to increase the size of our foundation, imagine what you saved tonight by being at home, sitting there, sipping a nice glass of wine. Take Jim Loftus. He didn't have to rent a tux or pay for inaugural tickets or pay for his customary 4 martinis or rent his customary limo. All in all, my guess is Jim saved at least $500. Now, if Jim would have spent $500, and if he goes tonight to the link at rotaryokc.com and contributes $250 to the Rotary Club Foundation, he still has $250. If I lost you in the math, just think about sending $250 to the Rotary Foundation of Oklahoma City to celebrate this evening and recognizing the Jim Loftus-like savings that we're all enjoying. And by the way, thank you to the dozens of you who have volunteered to have Rotary inaugural watch parties tonight. We can't be together as a large group, and so these smaller events will add some personal interaction to this evening. So thank you very much for doing that. I hope even in the face of a pandemic and the resulting economic challenges that we can grow our membership so we can continue to increase our activism for good in our community and internationally. We each know other members of our community who should be members of Rotary, and we want to give them an opportunity to give back, particularly at a time when our community needs us. I want to thank the outgoing officers that served during President Ann's term. Their work was collegial and productive. They all adapted to the frequent Zoom board meetings that we had as we evolved our meeting programs and discussed and approved a number of contributions to those impacted by these unfortunate circumstances. I also want to thank the new incoming officers who will serve over the next year. This is an exciting group of leaders who represent new members and longtime members. Together, we hope to grow the club, grow the foundation, and increase our impact to do good. I want to thank the staff, Megan and Cheryl. They have really worked hard to adapt to this changing environment. They are innovating our meetings, and they have really become virtual broadcasting experts and public safety specialists. And in order to save costs, now they're moving their offices all at the same time. Finally, I also look forward to working with Jared Schaus, who's now our president-elect and will begin his service as president in 2021. Just like our co-MCs tonight, Dee Yunusa and Jake Yunker, who did a great job, didn't they? They really did a wonderful job. Jared is young and energetic and represents the future of Rotary. And more importantly, he's capable of fixing anything I might mess up over the next year. If we have someone in the club who comes close to being the Yoda of Club 29, it's Jim Sherrick. He has advised officers and board members for decades. He sent a report to our dynamic former president, Ellen Fleming, in 2017, in which he said about Oklahoma City Rotarians, they have access to the best week-by-week speaker forum in Oklahoma, at least monthly social gatherings, access to Rotary clubs around the world, and affiliation with a club that means a person has reached a certain level of achievement. They are given an opportunity to directly impact the needs of our community, be responsive in times of disaster, and support dozens of international service projects. Rhonda, can you join me?
Cheers.
Cheers. When I was invited by the nominating committee to put my name on the ballot for Rotary president, I asked Rhonda what she thought, and she said, absolutely not. She then came around. We had a nice long talk about all the work that Rotary does and how important it is. And I must say to you that I devote my time to Rotary, and Rhonda participates in many of the programs with me, because as Ann has said many times since the start of this pandemic, Rotary needs us now more than ever. Our community needs Rotarians now more than ever. I'm proud to be a part of this organization and proud that you will join me this year to continue and improve this fantastic tradition of service to others. Thank you. Thank you. Seriously, thank you so much. Please take your seats. Jim, Jan, please be seated. Thank you. I have a quick pop quiz for you Rotarians. Who's the only speaker in Rotary history who went 10 minutes long and no one got up and left the room as he presented with gusto the story of our state song, Oklahoma? You guessed it. I'm pleased to introduce the Dean of the former governors in Oklahoma, an enthusiastic Rotarian, Governor George Nye and Donna, to give their best wishes. Governor, Donna.
Rotary. That spells Rotary. I've been singing that song for a long, long time. In fact, I first became a Rotarian in 1950, so David Walters and I have a lot in common. I became a Rotarian in 1950. He came to this world, being born in 1951.
Did he really?
Yeah. But years later, when I was governor, in 1980, I asked David Walters to be co-chairman of a committee to help us reorganize Oklahoma government. And it became a very popular committee of 100 that made many recommendations to reform, to change, to move forward Oklahoma. And I was so impressed by his ability to head that committee and make those recommendations.
And at that time, he was very young.
Oh, yes. Yes, he was young.
He was what, about 30? Whatever.
Who knows?
But I remember it very clearly because one night we had all been together and I said to David, you need to run for governor. And I really meant it because I had become acquainted with him through him being chairman of this committee. And I was so impressed with his leadership talent and the way he could be with anyone and whatever the situation was, he was on top of it. He could handle it. And, even though David, I feel like, is so smart, he is so willing to listen. Yes. He listens to people. Yes. He's not looking over your shoulder seeing who else is in the crowd he might speak to. He's truly interested in what everyone has to say.
Well, I think what's so unusual, Donna said he should run for governor, and now look, here we're celebrating he's becoming president. I mean, he's really moved up but yes, president of the third largest Rotary Club in the world. And Rotary is significant as a civic club, and David Waters is significant as a leader in bringing people together. And mentioning songs, I remember when we were at Rotary with the Nye Scholars, the Rotary Chorale was there with us, and we mentioned at that meeting, R-O-T-A-R-Y, well, that was a song, but the song we mentioned was another one, O-K-L-A-H-O-M-A, Oklahoma. And so the chorale sang what became later, when I was in office, the state song. And that state song is so amazing around the world because it came from a play that was the most popular play in the world, the most popular musical in the world about our state. And it's appropriate as we celebrate enthusiastic things in this state, like David becoming president of Rotary, that we would be proud of Oklahoma. Okay.
They couldn't pick a better time to start in life.
It ain't too early.
Starting as a farmer with a brand new wife.
Soon to be living in a brand new state.
Brand new state. Gonna teach you great.
Gonna give you barley,
Carrots and potatoes.
pasture for the cattle,
Spinach and tomatoes. Flowers on the prairie where the June bugs bloom.
Plenty of air and plenty of room.
plenty of room to swing around.
Plenty of heart and plenty of hope. And the waving wheat, it sure smells sweet. When the wind comes right behind the bay. Sit alone and talk and watch a hawk.
Making lazy circles in the sky.
We know we belong to the land.
And the land we belong to is grand.
And when we say,
We're only saying you're doing fine, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Oklahoma. We know we belong to the land.
And the land we belong to is grand.
We're only saying
You're doing fine, Oklahoma.
L-A-H-O-M-A. Oklahoma. Yeah!
That was awesome.
It was.
It's going to be a great year, Dee.
It is. That concludes tonight's events. Drive safely as you go home.
They're already at home.
Oh, I forgot. This is virtual. Okay, don't stub your toe on your coffee table on your way to bed. Man, I wish we had a gavel. I've always wanted to ring the bell.
Wait, I think I found one.
Did you? Okay, let's ring the bell.
Congratulations, President Ann. It's been an awesome year under very difficult circumstances, and you've weathered the storm tremendously, so good job there. To Governor President-elect Walters, congratulations to you, and to Rhonda. It's going to be an exciting year with you at the helm. I know it'll be a great year for you, as it was for me as president. I would caution you, though, in not engaging any members like Jim Loftus and David Walters and giving them an open microphone, roaming the floor, insulting members of the club, to the point where, after the second installment of that in my year, I almost got impeached, which would have been the first president ever impeached at Club 29. But again, congratulations, have fun, I know you will. Thanks a lot.
Congratulations, President Ann. on what has been a really remarkable and will be an unforgettable year for all of us forever. And Governor Walters, congratulations on your incoming presidency. I'm really looking forward to it. I know it's going to be very memorable and probably a little provocative.
President Ann, congratulations on another great year. You know, all of your work that you did at a college, OCCC, and things that you did out there, certainly that was a good grounding for being president of our club. And you've done a great job. I've noticed that when we started Zooming, you jumped right into that procedure, and it was just terrific, the job you have done. Governor Walters, you and I have been friends since we were locker mates at the Northside Y many years ago. And I want to congratulate you on spending the time that you're planning to do for the Club 29. I thank you for offering to serve.
And congratulations on a great year. I'm sure you're counting down the days. I know I did. And Governor Walters, I think you're going to have a terrific year as well. And I'm a little surprised that Jim Strange is still smarting from the humor that you and I tried to bring to his meetings. It surprised me, but come see, come saw.
President Ann, you've been a wonderful media presence and done a really good job considering the Black Swan event that we've had. And President David, you've already had so much experience with the media. I know you're going to do a wonderful job.
President Ann, thank you for your leadership, your dedication, and your very warm welcome to Club 29. Governor Walters, I know you're not new to service or leadership, but as a new member, I wish you only the best in this new role, President of Club 29. I know you'll be great. Thanks in advance for all you do.